What's up, guys? It's your boy GP from DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars together, have a dope conversation, kick out high frequency vibes, and bring you all the alpha. Did you guys miss me? I was gone last week. I touched a little grass with my family and went to Myrtle Beach for a little bit. Got some rays. Can you tell? Anyways, yeah, it's been an interesting thing to see the market kind of, you know, all red, everybody panicking, running around with their hair on fire, pants off, running around, calling for a bear market, recession, and tariff wars, all of the noise. My signal is the builders. The builders that are building on Bitcoin are really chipping away daily, not looking at charts and shipping. It is ship it season. It is STX app season. Real builders are building on Bitcoin via stacks. I've got some news that I wanted to get into. I got some bookmarks from today that I would like to share with you. So let me pull up my screen and let's get straight into it, guys. Hope you guys have had a wonderful start to your week. So getting right into it from Trust Machine, Stacks is growing in Q1. Native BTC bridged into the system grew from 1,240 to 3,252 and is set to grow to 6,000 in 1 month. Stacked STX reaches a new all-time high with over 563 million STX stacked. Stablecoin market cap grew by 437%. Fueled by tokens like USDH. Big shout out to you, the Hermetica squad. And you see a little graph here. Getting straight into it, we have, among the top chains by stablecoins, market cap change in Q1. There is a post that I'm going to reference later that they were excited about 146% for Solana. But look at that, 437%. Big shout out to Hermetica. Coming in from Koa, the creator of STX City. STX City might be for sale. 37K STX, not including other revenue activities like partnering with other projects. All assets are included in the sale, including the domain, code, and STX City social account. So yeah, go follow Koa if you're interested in buying STX City. From me, the Zest meme coin sprint is live April 7th through May 2nd. We're celebrating community, creativity, and meme coin magic across April with $400 in prizes from some of the dopest community founders in the game. Zest meme coin sprint week 1, April 7th through April 11th. We are hosting daily rumbles in the Zest Discord. The winner will take home a Zest community chest with Rue, Leo, Flat, and STSTX in it. Each community chest is worth in total $10, so get some exposure to these different meme coin projects. They are based, they are building. It's hard to call them meme coin projects because they are community projects. The communities are thriving and the founders are building. You can also look forward to the weekly rumble, which will be a different little prize. Meme coin corner challenges. So we have a new section called the Stacks Hub in the Zest protocol Discord. And within that channel or that category, we have the meme coin corner, and that's where you will find all the challenges. The Zest meme coin sprint will be taking place there in the Discord, along with game nights. We're gonna play Find to Earn on Fridays after the DeOrganized Nightly segment at the tail end of it with Zenotron and play some Find to Earn within the Zest Discord. So get in there. And big shout out to Jackman Switch, Rubes, Zenotron, and Silky Jones. All of these base founders in the ecosystem helping contribute to the Zest meme coin sprint. So get involved. Let's get it in there like swimwear. Round 1 starts tonight around 8:30. Here's another little graphic that I made. So get in there, join the Zest Discord before 8:30. Go smash them swords. You got about an hour until we run the first rumble for your chance to win some prizes. Have you checked out the Stacking DAO activity schedule for the rest of April? It's packed. I will be hosting meme lessons with competitions after the Stacking Down with DeFi show bi-weekly on Tuesdays. Set your reminder, and within the schedule, you can see here I made a little infographic. We've got Pokemon tournaments this week going down. Thursday in the Stacking Down Discord, we've got a Pokemon tournament. We've got a giveaway on Friday, and the same thing for the rest of the month of April. So get in there like swimwear, and let's have some fun. So yes, and this gets into the Pokemon tournament. Little graphic that I made here. Stacking Down Pokemon trading card game pocket tournament, April 10th at 11 a.m. ET. So join the Stacking Down Discord to get involved there. Did not mean to show you some DMs, but okay, it happened. Sorry about that. Let's get back to my bookmarks and then get straight into the other news from the ecosystem. We have big shout out to BoostX founder Crypto Dude. He has a giveaway going on, 24-hour price action prediction contest. You are to predict you're predicting the price of STX to USDH. USDH is pegged to around $1. So you're basically saying how much STX versus the dollar it will be within 24 hours. My guess is like 53 cents. Maybe we make a higher low before going for higher highs. Coming from Hermetica, big shout out to Jacob and the crew. We saw the surge. We were the surge. USDH accounted for most of that 400% growth on stacks. We're not saying we carried the quarter, but our backs hurt. Big shout out to Jacob and the crew, Jack, all the Hermetica hermits over there repping Hermetica. All right, so and from Crypto Rank, this is what I was referencing earlier. They referenced Solana first, like they were very excited. Solana stablecoin supply surged 146% in Q1. In Q1 2025, stablecoin market cap, Morph Layer, Chronos Chain, Stacks, and Build on Bob experienced sharp growth. That's that 437% in stablecoin market cap that we were talking about in Q1. Come hang out with the Stacks community in the Zest Town Hall AMA going down Wednesday, 9th April at 11 a.m. EST. And right after that, I'm going to do another space teaching people how to make memes for Zest with a little meme competition. So tune in for that as well. Getting into Zest Protocol, speaking of Zest Protocol, a low borrowing cap of 10 SBTC has been enabled, a first step to observe usage and market dynamics. It kicks off a new phase of real yield and arbitrage possibilities with SBTC on stacks. More SBTC liquidity will follow over time. So now you can even not just provide collateral with SBTC, you can now borrow SBTC on Zest. So go check that out. And we'll get into the Stacking DAO and the update on what has gone over in the Stacks ecosystem over the last few weeks in a bit. But let's get into the Cointelegraph news. So from Cointelegraph, Pierre Rochard has announced the founding of the Bitcoin Bond Company. Richard stated that the goal of the company is to provide transparent financial products that help institutional investors access Bitcoin's long-term growth. Very cool stuff. A Bitcoin Bond Company? Latest, more than 50 countries have more than 50 countries tariffed by president have reached out to begin negotiations with the White House, according to BBS. So do we see an end of the tariff wars coming soon? Hopefully so. Senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg, Michael McGlone, claims in 2020 Bitcoin was at 10,000, and that was only a few years ago. I think it's going back there. I don't think this guy is correct. Who knows? But I'm much more bullish on that. I don't think that we'll ever see lower than 15K, 40K, even as far as like to say like 70K, I'm not a financial advisor. No, not financial advice. Do your own research. But 10K is crazy. 510K lost in poisoning address attacks. And I don't want to get too much into this right here, but guys, please do make sure that you are practicing safe, safe self-custody methods when you're sending your crypto to yourself, make sure that you double check the address, make sure you double check everything and you have it correct before you click and confirm that transaction. Please do be safe. That is from one user. That's 510K lost to one person. New Satoshi Nakamoto is down 30 billion in Bitcoin from his all-time high. Wow, just an interesting metric that they even looked into that. He's up a whole lot. Now, Montretrain CEO JP Mullen claims that regulation and legislation in the U.S. are very bullish signs for the industry, and I agree with that. The White House says that a 90-day pause on tariffs is fake. So there's fake news going around today. The SEC announced that they are hosting a crypto trading roundtable this Friday. Representatives from Uniswap, Cumberland, and Coinbase are expected to attend. More on tariffs here. So Trump claims that if China doesn't remove its 34% tariff by April 8th, that is tomorrow, the U.S. will hit China with an additional 50% tariff starting on April 9th. And this goes into over 2.1 trillion wiped from the U.S. stock market at open amid broad sell-off. Crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of red in the markets right now, but we're also seeing a lot of builders building. So that is my signal. I'm buying at these levels, and I will continue to DCA even deeper into the red. Let's bring up our guest. I've got some really base chats from the ecosystem, some base builders in the ecosystem. Tonight, we've got Crypto Dude coming on from BoostX and Rafa from Factory.fun. What's up, fellas? How are we doing today? Happy Monday.
Hey.
Jim.
Been a crazy start to the week, man. I don't know if it's just because it's the first week of April, right? Are we seeing a monthly wick to the bottom on the monthly candle being formed right now, and then we'll see, some more upside into the body formed? What are we looking at? Like, what are you guys thinking? Or you don't even care? You're not even looking at charts right now?
Honestly, when you told me we dipped into like the top end of 40 cents today on stacks, it surprised me. I was like, oh, I didn't realize. I was too busy building. I didn't notice.
That's the way builders are, right? Like, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Like you guys don't really check price. You just kind of have your conviction. You know where you're building, and you know the mission. Decentralized,
exactly.
Permissionless, right?
Bingo.
Absolutely.
All that matters.
It's all about purpose.
I love it, man. I love that we have Rafa on again tonight, because I was quite jealous when I saw that whenever I was gone on my vacay, you had a demo of some sort to share with the audience, and Peace had to spin up the space and then fill in for me. I was quite jealous, man. I love whenever you come on, Rafa. You bring great vibes, and you're building some really cool stuff, dude.
Yeah, let's jump into the demo if you guys aren't against it. Let's just
do it.
Go to the fire.
Got something for us, dude. Absolutely. I will not say no to a demo. Only on DeOrganized will you find the most base builders building in the open and showing us out before anywhere else. So let's pull it on up. We'll share Rafa's screen here and see what he's got for us tonight.
Can you guys see this little widget, confirm deposit?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I can see, I don't see your confirm. Yes, I see confirmed deposit here. I don't see any there. That's perfect. If you want to scroll in maybe two, there you go.
What do you see? Do you see the nav bar as well?
So I don't see, whenever you pull up your wallet, it's not showing that. So you would have to share your full screen for that to pop up.
Do you see my mouse over here? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right,
I do see it.
So I'm just going to describe what happens. So Bitcoin is going to essentially tell me that I'm logged with Ledger. This is my Ledger address, and this is my balance, around 12,000 Satoshis. If I switch over to Stacks, I have 7,000 Satoshis of, as you know, SBTC. And the idea of this, which I started building like a week ago, literally, is to be able to deposit Bitcoin in one transaction by leveraging Clarity's ability to read Bitcoin state. And so let me just demo this to you, so you can pick the amount you want to deposit. Let's just pick 10,000 sats for the purpose of the demo. And this screen will go away. This is just a little screen to explain to app founders how it works. It essentially is going to embed my receiver address into an op return in the Bitcoin transaction. So I'm just logging in. This is the usual process for Ledger. And as you see, I'm depositing, right? 10,000 Satoshis. I'm just paying a small transaction fee of 600 sats. And I could verify that op return here, which will govern where my deposit is going to go on the Stacks side of things. And that's pretty much it, guys. So confirm. I can look at the transaction. By the way, this I have an update for this, so this is the old version. But as you can see in the update, it will revert back directly to the little website, which is a demo, by the way. It's just a demo. So I'm broadcasting this 10,000 sats, and now it's just you just wait for 10 minutes, and you'll see that my Stacks Bitcoin balance is going to be increased by 10,000 sats minus 3,000 because there's a service fee over here. So it's going to be really, really quick.
So I don't have to wait 6 Bitcoin blocks is what I read earlier, is like I'm not going to have to wait that long just to go ahead and transact. Like I can just go ahead, say, hey, I'm providing this much Bitcoin, and
exactly.
I'm ready to go.
I call this little widget Styx because it's a river in the underworld in the Greek mythology. And it actually brings Bitcoin and any decentralized app closer together. Nobody likes to bridge. So it can take several Bitcoin transactions. Not only that, but you need to trust perhaps a scheme of multi-signatures.
A federated system.
And perhaps you would be owning an asset that is not the Stacks Bitcoin official asset, which potentially has different risk to it. And here you're just going to own the asset from Stacks, and no multi-signature schemes. User funds are never at risk because what it does is it limits how much you can deposit as a function of how much liquidity there is. So for example, in this case, in this demo, there's around $400 or $300 of liquidity. So I wouldn't be able to deposit more than that. And then the transaction itself, through it's 100% trustless through Bitcoin Clarity v5, like the library. Clarity is able to read that you've deposited the such amount, and therefore is going to unlock, the equivalent amount right after it anchors. And as we know, Stacks is going to fork with Bitcoin, so we don't need to wait for the 6th confirmation. There's no risk there. So again, trustless, sort of atomic and sequential, and
So when you say it's pure, I got a question. When you say it's kind of limited by the pool's liquidity, can you kind of explain that to people? But because some people might not get your trade.
So you can see this as a vending machine. Like when you go to a vending machine, you want to buy a can of Coke or a snack. Then you put in your coins, and then the machine is going to be governed by code and is going to deliver the snack or the can of Coke. And this is the same thing. Except it's clarity that governs the code. So it's pretty safe.
And so they can't get their Bitcoin if the vending machine's empty basically at the time when they try to do it. There's got to be
exactly.
Got to be stocked up, so to speak.
Exactly, it's the vending machine. So if the vending machine is empty, there's no need for you to go and try and pay and deposit any Bitcoin because it's empty. So that's correct. Like if you were to deposit and the pool is empty, you'd be left with depositing Bitcoin and not getting the Bitcoin in your app. But what you could imagine is that stock of Bitcoin on the layer 2 could rotate between Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2, and there are implications there. I'm still sort of at the R&D stage, but as long as it rotates, there's no problem, because whoever operates the vending machine is going to receive real Bitcoin, and therefore they can always bridge it using the SBTC bridge. Perhaps the SBTC bridge will be 2 or 3 Bitcoin transactions to go, and then that's it. The vending machine is ready and available again, and then your transaction, although you processed it at a moment where the vending machine was empty, now you can process it again trustlessly, right? That's written in the contract, right? Nobody can rug you there, and then you can have it. Obviously, we don't want to end up in this situation, so what we do is we prevent any sort of deposit from happening, and we have a monitoring system, a system that monitors the liquidity in real time. And it's actually going to fail if you're trying to deposit and the liquidity is dried. That makes sense.
Will it throw a warning, like warning you beforehand, or will it just like gray out it won't allow you to do it if there's no liquidity there?
We can do that at several stages, at the UI, front end, at the back end, and also at the smart contract. But so you have several stage of protections. For example, here.
There you go.
Yeah, just to give you an example, this right now we're in beta, and I don't want anyone to deposit more than 20,000 sats, so I'm just like preventing this from happening. The backend will fail, like you won't take you up to the moment where you sign the PSBT in the Ledger or Xmas wallet also, and there's this system behind that actually does the job. That makes sense. So, like, long story short, it's very secured. It's 100% trustless. Again, like nobody stops you from like your transaction. Somebody can take your transaction and try to steal your Bitcoin on the other side. They won't be able to, because it's programmed to unlock it to you. And then it's really fast. One Bitcoin block, and these things add up. If you go on other layers where you have to wait for 6 Bitcoin blocks, these blocks are variable time. So like making just one Bitcoin block, I think will make a difference. Like users usually love to pay a premium for like the UX, and the goal is really to bring all the dApps closer to Bitcoin, so that it makes it a pleasant experience. Like I have nothing to do, and at this point I just signed one transaction, and then my balance in the app is going to be increased by the amount. And perhaps my last point would be, I'm reaching out to app founders, reached out to Xanatron from Skullcoin. This could make it very pleasant for users to associate your app as being a Bitcoin app. As I only see Skullcoin as like a Bitcoin treasure hunt, so it only makes sense to deposit Bitcoin at this point. Same thing for Factory. At Factory, we have a launchpad, and we have support for AI DAOs, and AI DAOs will have their treasuries in Bitcoin. So making it easy for users to deposit Bitcoin directly, and and in a very pleasant experience, is going to make a difference for the user. And I'm thinking about Boost as well. I'm sure Boost could potentially integrate, easy depositing of Bitcoin. But I'll pause at this point. Just wanted to say that I'm reaching out to app founders to see if there's an interest to collaborate on this.
I love it how you've kind of like eliminated the need for like bridging having these trust, these mechanisms that are based on trust, like all of it, decentralizing it is very attractive. I like the way that you put it. In an analogy, like you said, it's like a vending machine. If there's nothing there, then you can't interact with it. As well as like that you are kind of catering towards making these apps within the Stacks ecosystem truly Bitcoin apps. You know what I mean? Like you can't call them anything else if they're utilizing this technology. You can interact within one block. And I'm sure that's there to just if somebody doesn't change the fee or what happens whenever somebody changes the fee, right? Like you can replace a transaction, and that avoids a lot of problems there. You just wait one block instead, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the contract actually accounts for this edge case, that if the operator of the contract wants to change fees, there will be a cooldown period for people to sort of opt out. So if you have a transaction ongoing, it won't affect you. You'll just get your deposited Bitcoin, and then you have to give a pre-signal. So there's a cooldown, a cool-off time, and it gives a signal. Like if the operator of a vending machine all of a sudden wants to rug and take all of his Coke and snacks off the shelves, there's a cool-off. There's an event on chain that says, hey, I want to withdraw my liquidity, and then people can see it. They can still process their Bitcoin transaction ongoing, and then they can just stop using it. So that is very clever of you to have found this edge case, Giga.
Yeah, dude. I've been I'm the easy going, try to bring it to the people and help them understand it, and it seems like you have like really good analogies. I think the vending machine analogy like just nails it right on the head, and then like you have these mechanisms in place to where the vendor cannot rug. And I love that you have taken security very seriously whenever building this. You thought it through and through, and now we can have true Bitcoin apps within the ecosystem. So, like you've spoken a little bit with Zenotron. You said, is there anybody else that you might name that you've tried to speak to, or is that something that the alpha?
I just want to focus first, and have one or two pilots and further fully understand the idea and its viability. But this sounds like I'm stumbling on something that could make it, as you said, like sort of like decentralized the way to deposit Bitcoin, like bringing Bitcoin apps closer to Bitcoin just in one transaction. Really, that's the magical part. When you start using this, you don't want to use anything else. Like right now, for some reason, the Bitcoin block is quite slow, but you have
it always happens during the day.
Yeah.
It's Grandpa Bitcoin, man. You got to give him a second sometimes, man.
That's part.
So imagine 6 blocks, man. It's like it's hell. Like nobody wants that. And of course, this is just leveraging. We're standing on the shoulders of giants here. The Bitcoin Clarity library was built by core engineers. I've worked contracts from one of them and iterated on it, and then this came up. And to your question, like maybe just one or two apps just to start with, like making one or two apps closer to Bitcoin, and if it's viable, because there's this other there's tax, there's other things to consider, how to design this thing.
So quick question here, or I guess iteration on the point here. So basically you're making it to where people can deposit their Bitcoin onto Stacks and get SBTC in the process to the deposited address of their preference during one single Bitcoin transaction, correct?
Yes, you could make it a contract address. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like, so I'm just trying to understand the context of where the Bitcoin's flowing input or it's out, like, you're transferring that Bitcoin somewhere. Where, like, is that
Yeah,
landing to a specific static address that's being monitored by the smart contract for funds received, or what's going on there?
yeah. I think it anchored, by the way. No, not yet. Exactly. So I cannot show here because my balance is now below 110. Anyhow, but what you can parameter is the up return that was showing in that blue screen. That's why I'm reaching out to app founders to explain these things and how it works so that they really understand. Okay, this
No,
is
yeah, I
really.
understand that you're encoding the stacks address into the op return. I get that, but I'm talking about the native Bitcoin. So is that are you saying that's the course? Like, where's the Bitcoin? Like, you're obviously receiving SBTC on the far end on the Stacks wallet, correct?
Yeah, yes, correct. The
Okay, and
question is where the Bitcoin goes.
where's the Bitcoin going then? Yeah.
Yeah, so the Bitcoin goes to the vending machine operator. And
So,
actually, a vending machine is a very good analogy, like, of these smart contracts. They just work. They're governed by code and by themselves. They're automated machines and pretty simple ones. So yeah, you can parameter the operator's address in the smart contract, the Clarity smart contract. It could be a multisig on the Bitcoin side. In this demo, it's just
nice.
a normal SegWit address.
Nice.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah, it does. So yeah, that's what I was kind of curious on how the kind of I guess you'd say the UTXO flow went. So nice, dude. This is sick. This is really sick. I mean, people should appreciate this because you're basically lowering the barrier for getting into the Stacks ecosystem as a Bitcoiner, L1 native, so to speak. If you got some Bitcoin, you can kind of cut the
Yeah.
transaction wait time, kind of cut the friction out too.
When can I inscribe ordinals with this
Jesus, you're
technology?
already fucking
I'm an artist. I have to
this
ask
guy.
these questions.
Raph, tell him never.
Like,
Yeah,
UX is very important. Like, we've seen this with things like Sonar, and the fact that we have such technology that allows, like, bridging is no longer bridging. Like, nobody wants to bridge. You just want to deposit your Bitcoin in an app, and then you can lend your Bitcoin on Zest. You can mint, borrow against your Bitcoin some US dollars on chain. You can buy meme coins. You can participate in AI DAOs. You can do marketing and DeFi on X with Boost. You can now this you are one Bitcoin away from all these apps that have been built by solid, world-class, blockchain engineers with Bitcoin finality. Why not making it one Bitcoin away from you?
Right.
It lowers the barrier, and it's also trustless. Like, again, I'm just repeating myself at this point, but you
Maintains
don't
the
need to
ethos.
trust a federation. It's governed by Clarity's, ability to read the Bitcoin state, and you have pretty much certainty that what is going to happen is going to happen.
I love it because, like you said it, Crypto Dude, it carries the ethos. Me and Peace were having a conversation earlier today about, like, the why, right? And the ethos is permissionless, decentralized, and trustless. And this carries the ethos of Bitcoin, of course. Like, so decentralized, trustless, permissionless. The two main examples are Stacks and Bitcoin in the crypto world. To me, that's those are the two main examples that carry the ethos, right? And then whenever we see apps like this being developed, that further carries the ethos just a little bit further and closer to those users that the crypto learning curve is like this. So if you eliminate these I have to click here and then take it here and then do this with it. You eliminate that, you're catering to new users and people that are going to use these apps, and then the next generation of crypto users. You're making it easier, and that lessening that barrier of entry is such an important job, and finding innovative ways to do it.
And
bravo,
Giga, just
my friend.
versus what you initially said that you were jealous for last time, I want to mention Beefy Swap. So it's an order, order book adaptation of that technology. I don't think it's there yet because Stacks would need a little bit of improvement. And for example, replayability, something core engineers are working on, would be a huge improvement for this UX because you wouldn't have to wait this 6 block right here. But yeah, I don't, I don't really care about markets, but I did pass a bid here for 10,000 stacks, and it's trustless. And there's a 300 stacks sort of deposit or penalty that if you take that bid, essentially, if you sell your Bitcoin for 10,000 stacks, and I don't follow through on the swap, I would be losing, this deposit to you. So just wanted to mention this too.
Wow. All right. So you have a way to keep your end of the deal, so to speak. If you say this, and you can have a limit order, we spoke about this like early last year. Like I said, when you were working on other things, like an order book, like something that you can integrate into these different. We have a perp dex, we have all of these other tools now, and now you're building all of this.
Do you call it Beefy
what?
Swap because it's forcing some skin in the game by all parties?
Because I think it's more a product for whales in the sense that it's a limit order between peers. Actually, it could also be for agents, that essentially they do the work off chain. But for you and me, AMMs are just superior. They're immediate. You don't need a counterparty. But for this, you'd have zero slippage. So the 10,355.03 stacks is exactly what I would get, and they would get exactly 0.07 Bitcoin in this
Nice.
swap. So that can make sense. And core engineers are working on this replayability stuff that could remove the need to wait for 6 blocks. And perhaps stacks could be seen as a settlement layer for larger trades. Like we can even think about things like derivatives when regulations evolve and allow people to do such things. You could have the option contract on stacks and settlement via Bitcoin.
Options on stacks, puts on stacks,
like Bitcoin puts. Like you could have the US dollar or even USDH if you want it, or whatever asset. USDA. I like USDA because it's on chain completely. The protocol on chain. So you could have an amount of USDA locked. You buy a premium, and then if you're in the money, now you have to move Bitcoin on layer 1 in order to unlock the USDA on layer 2. But regulations don't allow, especially in the US, you would need all sorts of licenses, banking, money transmitting, etc. In the meantime, this is pretty cool, I think. And
well, on that point real quick, Stacks is a US based company, right? And there's a lot of big talk about US based crypto being capital gains taxes being eliminated for US based crypto and stuff like that. It's not too far out of the idea that if something like that occurs, that what we're talking about now could happen. You never
offshore
know.
Definitely, somebody offshore. And then I agree with you, this could change. If there's a moment for change, this is the moment. There's 180 change in terms of going from Choke 2.0 to, you know, making Bitcoin a global, like a national security interest reserve. But
Yeah, strategic
strategic,
Bitcoin reserve
yeah.
from Bitcoin 2.0. You're right. Like just within the span of a year, you see how much has changed, and now we're seeing like stablecoin regulations across the board, across the whole globe. Japan, Korea, U.S.
Yeah, and I just
everywhere.
want to, like, I don't want to undermine this idea, because as you can see right now, as users, like Web2 users, having to wait for one Bitcoin transaction feels bad, right? Honestly, it feels really bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say, but
all roads lead to Bitcoin, and then when the traffic gets jammed, we're going to the L2. That's basically the moral.
This is the thing. It's it's like very stressful, especially if you have a large amount of Bitcoin that you're not depositing into a. Oh wow! Okay, so my system should pick that up. We're just seeing that. Okay,
seen it happen live.
Foundry USA just mined this Bitcoin block 9891 for 18, and I'm hopeful that my system.
I hope he was included.
will likely pick it up here.
Were you included or not? Is the question.
Currently, it's like a very simple cron that is going to do it every minute. So perhaps there's a minute. And also, one thing is like the system is now taking your Bitcoin transaction, and then it's sending it to the Clarity contract, and the Clarity contract is going to unlock the Bitcoin on this side of things. So you see now I have 7,000. So, but my point was that bridging is a pain, right? Imagine now we have to wait another 5 or even 2 blocks, but it's also stressful. And you want to see it right away. You want to, if it's a lot of money, if it's significant amount, okay, where is it? You know, and is it trustless, right? Who governs this, right? And here you have the backing of the code itself.
Somebody gonna bump fumble with your bag whenever you are trying to simply just bridge into an ecosystem. That is what you're talking about happening whenever you're putting your trust into federated systems instead of decentralized systems.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one thing is like you can fully self custody through and through, and then you don't have to worry about trusting anybody else with your bags. You know, it's so important, dude, because
did it go through?
You can't get it's like your transfers, all of that stuff, censorship proof. You know, if they didn't like your BNS name and you're interacting on Coinbase, for example, this happened with ENS names. They blocked some ENS names. I think it was on Coinbase from like doing something, and this was a couple months back ago, and they got censored. You know, that's what you get whenever you have somebody else taking care of your assets, and it's impossible to do that in a decentralized, permissionless environment. Yeah. You know, so that's why we keep.
For some reason, there's any problem with this UI or the backend, etc. You take your own Bitcoin transaction and you go to the Clarity contract. You see, processing here means that it detected that the Bitcoin transaction anchored, and now it's taking that Bitcoin transaction and it's going to the Clarity contract and sending that stacks unlock, right? So once you put your coins in the vending machine, now the code says, okay, yeah, I received the coins. Now I'm going to unlock the snack.
So now it's going to process on the L2.
Yes, exactly. And so as soon as that stacks transaction, which is literally like 10 seconds normally, but it's going to be a significant improvement, you know, versus, you know,
anything here, by the way.
Yeah, we got Zinni in the house. Welcome, Zinni. We are
there you go. It's confirmed.
Beefy swap with a.
Nice.
What's up? Let's go.
My amount
so that's one.
Now he's rich. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is working flawlessly. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Yes.
Dude,
didn't break during demo.
rats, bro.
Live
Like,
demo didn't break.
But imagine
Cool,
that.
cool.
I'm stressing now for like for $7
Yeah, I knew you were
because
stressing
it's
that
a
whole time.
demo. But imagine if you have a significant amount and you don't know where
80K.
it is. And this is going to bring Bitcoin much, much closer to apps. Sorry I interrupted you, Xenotron. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. How are we doing tonight, Zenny?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I just wanna set up my mic. How can be heard loudly or quietly? Because I wanna,
You sound
I
fine.
wanna
Oh, you're
prepare
good.
for the games
cool.
when I am skeleton.
Yeah, we're gonna do some. If you guys weren't aware, like we're gonna do some find to earn games at the tail end of DeOrganized Nightly on Friday. So you guys should definitely like tune in, get into the Zest Discord, for your chance to win some assets, man. You know, we got some Rue up for grabs, some Flat, some Leo, and some STSTX. So, you know, I'm really excited for Friday, man. And we were talking, me and Rafa and Crypto Dude were talking a little bit about how Beefy Swap can be integrated into some of the stuff that you're doing, Zenotron. Like, how do you, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts
it's
about Beefy
interesting,
Swap?
but I'm still wanna understand like the purpose and how it works.
Let's schedule a demo or
Right on.
something this week.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we have call tomorrow, as I remember.
Awesome.
Right on. Yeah, dude. See, and I love like getting to talk to you guys, like together in the same room, right? Like to where I'm kind of part of the conversation a little bit, and I get to like get these little insights into like what's going down. Thank you guys for always like being open, building in the open, and you know like coming on and talking about what you're doing, because what you guys are doing is important. You know, Rafa, you're bringing Bitcoin closer to the founders and making their apps closer to Bitcoin. Zenny, you're creating games that aren't just they're not just like one and done. These are games that are going to be providing value to those who play.
Yeah, we wanna
you know?
create a strong community, because like leaderboards, everyone will be hunters. We'll do something interesting.
Oh yeah, dude. And I see that Rafa has like the find to earn skull coin page up. That's skullco.in.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're
interesting
interested
that you have the
involved.
glitch with like images. Can you share me this screenshot after, because I never seen this before.
Which one?
What's wrong?
I mean, like I see like your header like with white this
Oh, that-
arrow.
Yeah,
That white
It's some-
shred
it's
at the
some-
top.
It looks buggy because like I never seen this before.
I'm using Dark Reader, so I'm a dark.
Oh, I see.
That's
Maybe
his-
yeah.
That's
Okay.
an extension he's running, probably.
Extension. Yeah.
But I can imagine somewhere in the game like deposit Bitcoin, and it just augments my, my account number.
Yeah, it's interesting because like we have use case for SBTC for hackathon, like to bind the clues.
Yeah.
This is the first use case. We wanna for sure focus on Skullcoin also because we don't have yet like use case for Skullcoin, but I'm not so much care because I understand that organic growth will come one day. I'm not care about price. Our team holding a lot of supply and we never sell. So my goal to make it like sustainable, because like we launched a token in August with only one purpose, to make fair launch. Because I understand these past days to if we wait Stack City with fast blocks on stacks, it will be a lot of algorithms and bots, and we just lose to these fast first transactions. Yeah, and we done it well. So now like we have fair distribution.
Anyways, guys, I can do one last demo if you guys want with Xverse. I actually would have to push the code, which takes me 10 seconds if you wanted to, or we can just call it a day and I go back to coding, but I appreciate the invite.
Up to you. completely up to you, brother. You know, we've got some things that like I could get into. You know, I can cover like coin market caps. I can go over the deorganized schedule
Yeah.
while you do
Let
that.
me
if you'd
push the
like.
code because I just coded support for Xverse,
Yeah.
and then we can test my code live if you guys want.
Oh, I love testing live,
if,
dude.
If,
Yes,
if it doesn't
that's
work, then
above.
I'll go offline and debug it.
I love it. So we had Rosar on here. I think it was the week before the Biddle battle ended, and he was testing like Signet and OpPredict and Blaze all in one. We were finding some bugs and stuff like that. Just minor little like UI, like how it displays and having to refresh to get things to show and stuff like that. But I love seeing like you guys just kind of work live, because that's one of the things that I just kind of stumbled upon. Like I didn't expect to have like founders come up here that are doing coding live, but I enjoy it because like I get to learn more about the process of how Clarity works, especially the way that you break it down, Rafa, while you're doing it, and Rosar as well. Like they kind of break down the statements, kind of highlighting the different portions, saying what it does. So you never know who that might inspire to say, hey, coding isn't as intimidating as I thought. If these guys can do it, I can learn it. So that's something I enjoy, is just maybe inspiring somebody else to try to do it. Especially with these AI tools out here, man. Like I've said this before, but like you can just use cursor and reference the SIP repository, and then boom, you're coding in Clarity. You just have to learn how to prompt what you want to build, and then you're building in Clarity on Bitcoin via stacks. So there you go. But yeah, Zenotron got the meme coin sprint going on. I talked a little bit about it earlier today, in the morning show, and then talked with Tycho and Gnome earlier today as well. So everything's a go for the meme coin sprint, and I'm really excited to play Find to Earn within the Zest Discord.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
So,
it will be interesting. GPC. Yeah, I'm very I like what you're doing, because like you're making it works. You're making it possible. You are like the person who gather us together. This is very important. Like motivation.
I think.
And yeah,
I think like you guys, what you're doing is important in this ecosystem, and then like giving you guys a place where you guys can kind of collaborate. It's yours. The meme coin corner is like, you have your communities as well that will be in there, but you have a special role within the Discord that allows you to post in your own different thread, whatever alpha that you like, just like to where the fostering the collaboration, so that's where I'm at. But yeah, it's one of those things that I was inspired. Like the idea came from like, in the Zest Hall, Jack brought it up. It's like, maybe something like a meme coin corner for founders and the community
everything
member.
will be all right. We just have to sort, like to find solutions how to make it better every day, because like I'm thinking, when I see Crypto Dude and his passion, I'm thinking about BoostX. I'm not thinking about BoostX outside, like our conversation with Crypto Dude, but each time when I see him, he's a very talented developer, and I'm thinking how to add BoostX to more users, like how to ask them to download extension. And I'm just thinking about my project together, because I think like if we add leaderboard, people likes leaderboard, people likes to see how they upgrade, improve their skills. Yeah, we can make different liga, and so we can make like even rankings. It will be cool if we can add this statistic to BoostX extension, so the user can like open like just extension and see what is his rank, what is his liga, like something like this as idea, because we have a lot of synergy.
Yeah, hell yeah. A leaderboard, we're most definitely already working on a leaderboard just for boosts in general, but if you're talking about like categorically like organized maybe by application
just
as well,
that's fine tune,
cool.
just for fine tune. Yeah.
No, I love it. We should most definitely.
Yeah, because like our fine tune games is a different game, so it's not on chain game, but it's a very important onboarding game. It's a marketing game. It's something new, blah blah blah. And if we add this leaderboard, it means like the users have to download this extension and just open and see. It's
I'm most definitely down to integrate a leaderboard. It's like, so like, are you guys serving that data via an API like already, or what's going on?
No, just an idea. Like we can do it easily. Like we can do it manually. Like after each game, we can like if you can gather this information somehow, it will be cool. But we have just to upload the information from previous game. We've done about 300 games, and we have a lot of different winners already. Like leaderboard.
Do y'all have all that data in like a spreadsheet or anything? Or
yeah, just in text file. Yeah, I have this data.
Okay, let's work with it, and I'm sure we can get it into some sort of, because basically to integrate it into like a leaderboard, we need to probably serve it via an API, right?
Like I have no time to add this like section on the website on Skullcoin, because like our team doing other things. But if we can add this like spreadsheet to BoostX extension additional to your main leaderboard, yes, as I understand, your main leaderboard is related to how much who sent through BoostX extension the funds to other like people. Yeah.
So the leaderboard we're working on is kind of like by token at the moment. So it's going to be like which tokens have kind of the most transactions. We also will have additional, metrics for like what you're saying, individuals and whatnot. But I most definitely want to do what you're talking about with the fine tuner. That sounds
that's nice, because like in couple days, for example, I publish leaderboard, but it will be just one post, and this post would go away, because like we have regular games and this post just go down.
Gets buried,
but your extension can keep this leaderboard in future, so if person plays fine tune, he will know that he can just download.
That turns BoostX into like an analytics tool.
Oh yeah.
That's huge. Dude,
that's actually one of the, so like we're building out our API for BoostX so people can have access to some of the data, right? And one of those things in there is basically how many boosts have this specific tweet received. If the author's a BNS name, then it's likelihood that the tweet has been boosted. So basically the goal here is to present like a little number next to the rocket, right? So that way people can have an idea of how many boosts that particular tweet has received. They'll be able to click the number, get more information about that particular tweet. That's metric data that basically we can serve via an API. And you're talking about basically serving metric data relative to the find to earn games and transactions, and the winners and tracking the leaders of that. So we need to just talk about all the data, like in terms of field data that we're looking to render in that, and then like kind of like the process and like in terms of where we're going to need to have the updates for that be, basically somebody's going to need to stay regularly updating that, right? So there needs to be a process establishing there.
I can update like this, just sending you info one time per week, one time per day, as you want. Like, but
I'm sure we can work out something more streamlined than that.
Yeah,
like
using beefy X BoostX.
I was just thinking something along the lines, if he's got the data already captured, send it to me in a specific format or through a specific form, and then we can just get the data in the leaderboard that way. Just because you're talking about, the winners, how many games they've won, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, sure. Just the winners. Just a count, winners and like ratings based on winners. Who is going up, who is going down on leaderboard every day, every week.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. I'm sure. Yeah, that's right in line with what we're trying to do. I mean, we're trying to get people's apps exposed, integrated. Like, this is obviously, specific use case, but that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build each other up. So, hell yeah, I'm down, dude, for sure.
Yeah, sure. Because like we never built like extension. We are building something else.
Well, there's analytics for every. You can make a leaderboard for every protocol. It's just all about the metrics that you want to use, right? Like
yeah, but it's important.
then,
like if people needs this leaderboard, if people needs this metric, yeah.
Yeah, true. But then you could like
I'm
make
trying
some
to think
cool,
about the best way to implement it in a way that's going to make sense for our existing leaderboards, your specific leaderboard request, and potentially any other future leaderboards that people might want to see, displayed and integrated or whatever. So there's probably like a module on the side that we could put that's kind of like how we do with the featured stacks apps. We could just call it like featured stacks leaderboards or something like that. And then, have our buttons that are kind of our current, buttons that could represent either different modules. That'd probably be the best way to do it, I think. Have different have a module on the right that has buttons in it that represent the different leaderboards, and then you click those and those open their own distinct modal.
Different just leaderboard, different filters or whatever, like.
Yeah, exactly. So that way there's basically a way to kind of keep them kind of separated but kind of nested together.
I'm trying to visualize it right now.
Look at your featured stacks.
And also, that's another idea. We can like make the special game only for people who install a BoostX extension, for example. You just have to like think how we can do it.
Oh, I've already got ideas on how me and you should collab on some games, bro. Like so like recently we figured out we can hook into like the native X elements on X itself, so like we can listen for like when the like is clicked or when follow is clicked. So we could like set up like clues to pop up when somebody goes to a certain profile page and hits follow, and then that you could lead them on a breadcrumb of clues, right, to have them go throughout a quest adventure on X, and then it leads them to some final clue or some final interface action, right, that is some sort of native X button or maybe a distinct button that we inject, but that could have them claim a reward or claim an NFT or whatever the context.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like it. Yeah, nice idea, man.
Yeah, hooking the native.
Imagine where we'll be.
That's pretty sick.
Imagine where we will be in a year, much less like 5 years, right? It's going to be crazy because like BoostX was only launched how long ago? 2 months? 2 months ago? 3?
Check. Hold on. 1 second.
2 months, I think. And look at how many updates
February.
pushed.
So yeah, 2 months.
2 months,
Yep.
and look how fast you're shipping, dude. Like, and everybody in here are solid builders. So it's like one of those things. Like the collaboration is happening. The builders are building. My signal is strong right now. That I should be speculating heavy on the stacks and Bitcoin ecosystem, where everybody else is like panicking and like, oh my gosh, the price is crashing and all that stuff. That's where I'm like, okay, this is a good time to put some skin in the game. Not financial advice. Do your own research.
So
that's what I'm doing.
Drop the feature we're hammering on literally right now, aside from the NFT. So we're waiting on the NFT transfers to go live in the store, so people will have the ability to transfer NFTs as well on BoostX. And then the NFT
Yeah.
tabs coming to profile pages. That's coming next update. But we're also working on.
Yeah, don't rush, no worries. We can make it very slowly, but I tell you this thing that I have to say that we have a lot of builders, but I didn't see the builders like you that I really see the use case for real users. Because we have like this white noise, everyone building something, but I don't believe in many things that people build, because like I don't see that users really use it, but I see about like boost text that people really use it in future. And the beauty of this is an infinite of opportunities that you can build.
Yeah, exactly. It's very open-ended. It's amazing, actually. Feel very fortunate to be part of the movement, so to speak, the BoostX movement. So yeah, dude,
Yes.
let's build the leaderboard for sure.
Yeah, just slowly, just no rush, no worries. I'm very.
Oh, we can get it hammered out soon. Like that. In all honesty, I just need to look at the data points you're trying to present. We need to figure out a process to keep them updated on the regular, so that way people are, seeing
that you're saying about like the clues. It means like you understand very like deep things, because like clues, it's what is a clues? It's a things with incomplete information, and only building some things with incomplete information, we can build a future fair competition. Because first of all, AI cannot solve incomplete information. If you don't have this data, you just don't have it. And like we played this treasure hunt game, I don't know if you miss it. We played like won the game for 200 stacks, and it's
oh what 200 stacks.
Yeah, it was a quest. I will drop you the link. You can see like and this game will be like for some time. Like it took about like half an hour until the winner. Winner was Crypto Lady, and the second after her just a Roser dropped the right coordinates with his creative mind. And I'm just wanna say like people. So it's just a quest. Like now we playing very simple fine turn. It's just for action. Like I drop the location.
You speak his name, and he's.
Oh, you just summoned him.
Yeah, I'm.
Gosh, dude. Rafa, I just wanted to give a big shout out to you. Thank you for coming through tonight, brother. I appreciate you chipping away. At that expert side of Beefy Swap, and I appreciate you demoing the leather side tonight, man. I hope that you have a very blessed night, brother.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to go back to coding, but I leave you in good company with, these four beasts that are,
Hi, Rafa.
Crypto, Rosar, and Xenotron. Cheers.
Right
cheers,
on,
boys.
See
Back
you,
to
man.
hammering. It's going back into the forge, folks.
Back into the forge, my friend. Stay blessed. Rosar, what we got going on tonight, bro? Sorry to interrupt, Zenny. Just real quick, just wanted to welcome Rosar. You spoke his name and he appeared, dude. Like you can't make this up, man. Only on DeOrganized, bro.
Magic.
Yeah. What's up, Rosar?
Oh, same stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm back from my trip thing. Feel like I'm getting back into the swing of it. So I'm trying to take some time and like get organized. Think about like next phase.
Get deorganized.
Yeah.
You organized.
Come on now.
You gotta do a little destruction and creation. Go hand in hand.
Come through here, and then we can deorganize it for you and find out the parts that matter the most. Get some feedback. Throw some thoughts together. You know what we do, man. The vibes, the vibe high while we innovate. So I too am getting back from a little small touch grass sesh with my family, and I too am getting into the swing of things. So welcome back, my friend, and
Thank you.
another big congrats for winning the Biddle battle, man. With Blaze, dude. Yeah. So you're figuring out what's next. Do you have like your specific roadmap, like thought out and planned, like, or is this like the point where you're like, okay, I have all of I have the Signet wallet. I have OpPredict. I have Charisma. I have Blaze. I have 1,000 things. What's next? Like, are you connecting them?
Precisely.
That's next.
There are 1,000 things. So my goal right now is to get more organized, and start to prioritize things and deprioritize things, specifically prioritizing like the Blaze work. And yeah, I guess like a couple things will deprioritize only because like I just don't think they need to be done first. And yeah, I mean, getting organized is important. Like all my work has, I mean, I have a lot of different code bases. I'm trying to refactor everything into a like one repo, like one mono repo, to stay, you know, organized, I guess, for lack of a better word. But yeah, I'm doing that today.
So it's going to take a lot of like taking code from here in one GitHub, taking code from here in another GitHub, and then combining them all in a way that it doesn't break.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. Well, like I commend you on that. You know, I like that you stay organized. You have your AI swarm. Are you using your AI swarm to help you with some of that, or is that some of the just like heavy lifting that you're gonna have to do on your own?
It for this sort of work, the AI is helpful when I'm like debugging like config issues, like maybe because there's always like every project setup has different config requirements, like like bundlers and transpilers, like all this stuff that sort of you only really need to configure it once, and then most of the time you kind of don't think about it for the rest of the project. But since I'm sort of doing this project level config stuff and setting everything up, I'm running into these issues more frequently again, and AI helps with that, like just debugging them, because they're, it's like I don't know how every single config setting of every single bundler and tool chain, so it helps with that. But unfortunately, a lot of this I have to just do by hand because it's all very like
Intricate.
Yeah, it's just like it is. I don't know. Like, I don't trust it.
A lot. Yeah, you want to baby it. I got you.
It needs to be like, everything needs to be working perfectly. I can't introduce more bugs when I'm getting things organized, or else it's.
He's all doing the fucking whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
No.
It's like making I don't know.
So just before you joined, we were talking about making BoostX an analytics tool for some of these find to earn games that Xenotron is.
He says analytics tool. He means leaderboard. He's trying to oversell every feature. This guy is a marketer at heart.
Analytics suite. Analytics suite.
There you go. It's in a suite.
Yes, there.
It's not Motel 8. It's analytics suite.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking about doing a leaderboard with the find to earn game. So like basically introducing a leaderboard module on the right, and then have some different leaderboard module or modals that can pop up out of that. So like obviously kind of boost X leaderboards, and then we can do find to earn leaderboards, and potentially any other leaderboards that we want to include as their own module that they can kind of discover via the little. Well, I guess as their own modal that they can discover via that little module on the right. So I think that's pretty interesting. And then we were also talking about basically doing some more planning or more in-depth find to earn with BoostX, kind of like with clues and kind of making a quest out of the process for users to kind of go around on X and discover the different clues by interacting with native X elements. So for example, clicking on a specific like of a specific tweet, or going to a specific profile page and clicking follow, or basically interacting on the platform of X in specific ways, maybe even clicking on specific injection buttons that we inject, like minting and stuff like that. We can also do minting calls based on when somebody clicks a follow, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that. So basically do a bunch of questing with some find to earn, make it where users can kind of, I guess, have some fun more directly on X.
We will DM and explore our opportunities. We will.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities there.
I'm just curious about Roser. If it's possible to build any like ZK snarks, like any things with incomplete information on Blaze.
I think so. It should be. You should be able to.
Because it should be a big use case for stacks if you can build something like with hidden information, since stacks by itself cannot give opportunity to build ZK proofs.
I think you should be able to. Just based on like, I don't know, like what I was playing around with, like different ideas I was playing around with, like how private I could get information. And I think it should be possible. I had an interesting idea, which I don't know if this is, I don't think this is that, but it's one of those things I was talking about where I was like, how private can we get stuff? Where it's sort of an alternative to the sign transfers on Blaze, where you're like, so say it's like a token transfer, and you know you have the sign transfer alternative where instead of checking against the sender, you're checking against the signature signer, creating like a third version of a transfer, a signed transfer. We might call it like something different, like signed, I don't know, like donate or something, or basically it would be a transfer, but without a recipient. And then when it's replayed on chain, like submitted on chain, whoever submits it, like the sender becomes the recipient. So it's an interesting idea because you could create a signature in private and secret effectively. So you have this like secret signature, the secret code effectively. And then you could give it to someone privately, and then they could just deposit it whenever they want, almost like physical cash in a way. So as long as you keep it private, it's like effectively physical cash, which would be a really interesting application. You know, like you could make a bunch of these and like hand them out, and then until someone actually uses them, they're like valid money, you know, as long as your money remains in the subnet, of course. But I think you could enforce that with like the escrow sort of things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that sort of stuff I'm thinking about, like how private can we get this information?
Tornado Cash?
Well, it's a similar idea, but Tornado Cash is obviously like, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know exactly how Tornado Cash works, but my understanding of it is it mixes up funds, so it's you can't really tell like where funds are coming from, or it obfuscates them heavily. But this is you can see where it's coming from, I guess, in this sense, but it creates a way to like almost move things into the physical realm, like real world assets in a way. Like you could have like Stacks dollar or like Welsh dollars, like real physical dollars.
I'd be wary of putting the word dollar on it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's not, well, it's not a dollar because it's not a stable coin. It's not one USD, but like it's like a bill.
Welsh
You know what I
USD.
mean? Like you could make a physical object that has money on it, and then like give it to someone.
Like a card of some sort, and then you could use Stacks Pay.
Yeah, like you can make like 100 business cards and put a unique code on each one, and then give them out, and then that's like 10 Welsh or something on each one.
Oh, and then like, that'd be so sick. They scan a QR code, and it's like,
So how
with the Signet setup too, and then like, you know, like it just exports your seed phrase and all of that, dude. Like I could see that. That's what's up.
Well,
All
there's no seed phrase required in this sense, but yeah, it's quite cool.
I can see, but whenever I was setting up my Signet wallet, like the process of like instead of like having to like write down your keys and all of that stuff, like all of that is
Yeah, in a
very-
way, it reduces the onboarding friction for sure.
yeah. So like you take what you're talking about, put it on a business card, and then QR code it a couple of clicks away, and then boom, you have Welsh. Like
Yeah,
you're
like
on.
it could
you
be a
on-
code on it, and you could like scan the code and then like verify that the money is still like unspent, and then you could maybe have another one that's like deposit, and you can like deposit into your wallet or whatever.
Are you going to be at the Bitcoin
So
conference?
two different QR codes. Verify QR code and fucking receive QR code.
Yeah, it's like a public key and a private key, sort of like a one-time use.
Exactly.
In a way, yeah.
So are you going to be at the
Let's go.
Bitcoin conference, Rosar?
When is it again?
At the end of May.
The end of May.
It's like Labor Day weekend.
I'd like to. I will see.
I would make those cards and make this use case and then pass them things out at the conference. That would be cool.
With fungible tokens on them.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not a bad idea.
So cool, dude. Like, talk about a way to onboard people. Yeah, you got it right there, bud. And then like you say, hey, you want a prediction market? Spin up a interesting one that has to do with the conference. You want to make a bet? Then you have the whole process on a physical business card with a QR code. It links you straight up and then takes you to like the prediction market. I could see it. It's super cool. Like, are we seeing the same thing when I'm talking? Like,
Yeah. No,
So-
it's
Quick
That's
question
cool.
about the prediction market. How's that going? First off, and then second off, you got leaderboard API for that, or what's going on there?
it's one of the things that's probably on pause for now because I just need to get like the whole Blaze infrastructure done first. You know, I really feel like I should put the horse before the cart. Is that big saying? Yeah.
How's
Yeah.
this thing ordered?
Yeah, because like it was okay for me to lead with that for demo purposes, because you know, like
yeah, she showed the
it has
use
to be visual, it has to be very clear, like the use case, all that stuff. But I want to, you know, I think this is most useful when other people can use it, you know, like
Totally
so
understandable.
So I want to get, and it's just going to be easier to develop the, you know, everything else, like these apps, prediction markets, if the whole base, like the foundation is done, because I don't need to be constantly like jumping between the two things and telling everyone else to update their stuff. And, you know,
You mean you won't have to be building a car while driving it down the road?
exactly. Just build the engine and then we can all use it. And then,
There you go. I like the
so,
way
yeah.
that prioritizing. It makes sense. Like you don't drive the car without the engine. I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus,
allergies tonight, Crypto Dude, have been on point with Rafa with the vending machine for Beefy Swap, and then we've got Rosar coming in with building the car with no engine versus building the engine first. Like these analogies have been on point for this segment. I'm not gonna lie.
So, well, once you got the prediction markets API done for the leaderboards, because I'm sure you'll have a leaderboards API, right? I mean, that seems like a natural thing.
yeah.
Let me know so then we can get it in the leaderboards of BoostX, dude. Then we can funnel some people over there.
Word.
That's
Okay.
Let me know whenever we were talking in DMs about like a little stuff. Rosar, let me know what we could do. I know we got a lot of stuff going on for the Zest meme coin sprint. We're playing some find to earn games on Friday. We pretty much have everything like locked in. But if you want to like maybe, I don't know, like work something to where, I don't know, if there's something there, let me know what I could do for you, because I want the community to see what you're building, because it's amazing. You know, both of you guys, like Crypto Dude, we had a similar DM. Like, you know, if you have an idea for something for this meme coin sprint that we could implement, let's do it. good community. The Zest community is full of chads, dude. Seriously, very passionate people and ready for some stuff to do. And I think we got plenty of stuff for them to do, right?
Oh hell yeah, we do.
Yep.
Speaking of stuff to do, should I send you an NFT?
Oh, did it happen?
No, I can do it right now if you want. I mean, if you want me to.
Did the update go through?
No, that didn't go through, but I can show people what it looks like if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. If you could do it on your end, let's do it.
Yeah. Give me a few moments to get it set up here. I wasn't
Cool,
sure if we were
man.
gonna do it or not. But.
So that you can. So for context for those watching right now, Crypto Dude is the founder of BoostX and many other projects connected to BoostX. And right now he's pushing an update for BoostX where you will be able to interact you can already interact directly from X with the Stacks blockchain. If you have a BNS name, a .btc name, or a .stx name, and right now he's pushing an update where you can send and receive NFTs directly from X if you have the BoostX app downloaded, the extension downloaded to your browser. So very cool stuff. I want to see this happen in real time. Me as an artist, this resonates with me. Like I want to be able to send my work to other people. Like say I want to give away an NFT, I don't have to go through 1,000 different. This even gives giveaways for NFTs that much more.
I want to talk about NFTs and artists here too, since we're talking about it. But give me 1 sec here. I'll share my screen. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Actually, I should probably show this connection process too. Or actually, hold on. I'll disconnect it. People have seen that enough times. It don't matter. Let's see here. Share screen. If I'm doing this right. Now, which one is it? That's the question. Too many windows.
Too many windows. That's
Seriously.
how it goes, bro.
All right, here we go. I think this is the one.
It's 1,000. It's 1,000 windows, 1,000 applications running at one time. You already know the deal, bro. So here we go. Here we go. We got right on the GPSC page with the Zest meme coin sprint right there. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. So
Look at that.
Oh, we also got factory.fun right there.
Look at that, dude. The universe doing things today.
So basically, we got OG. Transfer NFTs. Select the Disruptors. Go ahead and send you this guy.
Ooh. Oh, send me a Disruptor? Bro. Very, very thankful for that. Those are some very dope NFTs. Almost as OG as they could.
Oh, they are pretty much as OG as they can get. I mean,
so go check out Disruptors on Gamma. You can buy them on secondary. Yes, they are dope and very OG.
I'll do that. Well, and so you can see here the transaction probably already confirmed. Still in mempool for. Well, that's weird. Usually it's always confirmed by now. Wow.
Stacks being a little slow today. Is that what
it's probably just a little congestion? Give us more time to admire this guy's pecs. Look at those things.
Oh, dude, look at those pecs, dude. The Zester does not play. Look at the pecs. Like, dude, like.
Do we need to animate that guy with some AI?
We most certainly can use Kling AI and animate this whole photo. And then have like Giga Pepe smoke, blowing out smoke. The Zester doing the peck dance. Like one peck, two peck, the peck shuffle, should we call it? Have the skull coin, the legendary skull coin there. doing like a head nod, and then the mystical Rue in the background floating up and down, you know. And maybe we put some like shimmers and sparkles on the meme coin logos up there.
Oh yeah, get it all animated, get it flowing.
I could see it. I could
see
see
if
it.
this bad boy is transferred here.
Yeah, when you and Rosar were cooking with Kling, the one episode of DeOrganized Nightly, I was blown away. So has that TX confirmed so far, or is it like what?
Yep, it's there. You're good. You got your NFT.
Let me go. I cannot wait. Okay, let me just. I have to go. I have to show it off. It's just one of those things. If it's in
probably
the
should
wallet,
actually. I just thought about this. I should probably actually include links maybe to the like maybe the. Well, I guess that's not always applicable. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe to gamma listings and stuff like that, but
that would be cool. I mean, to be able to like see like what NFT was sent to you directly in your BoostX app. Say you got a you got to get a notification that you got an NFT, right? What if you put NFT like into under your notifications, and then it has a link to the NFT or something underneath there? Something.
Yeah, I was thinking about like how to better like kind of present the imagery, because right now it's just kind of like contextually presenting the transaction, you know, and like the relative, you know, tweet that you're receiving it via, right? So there is work to be done, most definitely, in terms of presentation when it comes to NFTs on when you're transferring right there, because you know you're going to want to look up the image, and of course this image is going to be a bitch for you to find until you go to the Gamma, you know, marketplace and click on it from there and type in your number. But
right.
You know, that's not that hard to fix, really.
Yeah, so you add a little something to the UI, you know.
Yeah, a little something to the UI. Yeah, exactly. When probably
UX,
to the clipboard was getting copied.
Look at these based chats in my wallet. Did you send me 1802
or 474?
Look at this guy. This freaking guy here. Let me click on him. My browser's being slow because, of course, computer at bandwidth. Yeah, here we go. Look at this chat, dude, with the glasses and then like his cool necklace and like the hair. Yes, dude. Yes. Oh man, and this guy's got some cool traits too.
So you know it's old as F. Look at the age of that collection, bro. Collection's published 4 years ago.
Where
scroll up right there. You know, this last sold for 10 STX. This collection was published 4 years ago. This collection, yeah, it's boom.
Oh, gee, dude, talk about like whenever we were talking OG. How old is Stacks?
Oh, it's been around. Like, you mean Stacks 2, like 2.0? Are you talking block stack? Are you talking one name? Depends
where
on
you
which
can launch NFTs on it.
Oh. This was done right, like shortly after we could do that. Like,
there you go. So there you have it. As soon as you could launch NFTs on it, DeRuptars was there. Definitely go check out the DeRuptar collection. That is DERUPTAR. Yeah, DeRuptar.
Yeah, anybody can send any NFT collection that they own. So like when they're, you know, wanting to send them out on BoostX, if they got their own collection that they're wanting to get out to their homies, they can easily do that. Also, you know, on the artist note, we're wanting to work with artists and have kind of their profile pages serve as a kind of a minting location, so that people can come to their profile page, and if they got a collection that they're wanting to have minted, they can integrate the mint function, you know, the function call, and a link to the market once it mints out, you know, next to the follow button. Basically, we can also even conditionally render the mint button to where they see the mint button after they follow.
So you have the BoostX app, the extension downloaded, and then you go to my X page, and then there's a mint from my X page.
Yeah, so basically, exactly. So users of BoostX will be able to go to, you know, featured artists and featured projects pages and have a specific profile button it's basically going to be kind of depends on the context of the profile page, but for example, with artists and NFTs, they'll have like a mint button for their collection or a link to their market, depending on if it's already minted out. But
where on this page, like, are we gonna see? Like,
well,
are
you're looking at it from your owner. It'd probably be better to go to somebody else's profile page because you're looking at your own.
So I'll go right over here since nobody famous. She does
right
the hoodies and stuff, right? Like she does like merch.
Right before the follow button, basically.
So it would be here, a button that says mint, and then it would click, and then what would pop up? Like we click mint, and then like it would be a featured collection that like little pop up here, like
there'll be a modal that opens up, and then it's describing the collection, and then there's a mint button there, basically, technically. So it's kind of a two-step process, so the user can get a little bit more informed with it before they actually mint, right? But the goal is
upon hover, like you hover, and then it pulls up like something there, you have to click.
The point is to make it to where there's like a button that's either statically injected or conditionally injected right there next to the follow button that's then going to serve a specific modal that's contextually based on the profile. So with artists, it'll be like NFT minting modals, using their collection, passing in their specific data. And then other projects, like, for example, the Nakamoto 1 project, similar concept, but instead of having a mint button there, it's going to be the treasure chest button. They'll click that, opens the modal. They can see the contents of the treasure chest on the moon. They can click a button that says contribute to treasure chest. So we're trying to give a kind of like a way to experience some of what the profile and or artist has got to offer right through the user experience of X, but still obviously integrating with stacks, right? So we're going to start with the Nakamoto 1 treasure chest, and then with a handful of artists to kind of get it to where there's kind of a baseline to work with in terms of framework, and then extend it out from there. I'm excited about it because we can conditionally render the button so like after so people have to hit follow first. So
so then you're displaying some of their work, what they have going on,
helping grow their audience
to mint, and I love that. That. That's cool.
Mind if I throw out a wacky idea I was thinking about?
Let's do it.
Wacky idea. Okay. All right. So when people live stream on X, right? Like, actually, I don't know. I can't even remember last time I created my own like live stream with video, but it's just basically starting like a space with video, right?
Yeah, it's a space with video is what it is from definitely.
But then you can also use tools like Restream like this to like pipe connect to them, right? Like how does that work?
Well, you're technically talking about two different services. Spaces are spaces, and when you're streaming to Twitter, you're using their broadcast function, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like broadcasting to, I guess like a space, right?
Are you saying add this functionality?
Well, no, I'm just trying to understand because I don't do this a lot, but just based on the way it works, like, because like you can join a space. Like for instance, I could join this DeOrganized X space as an audience member.
That DeOrganized nightly broadcast.
Yeah, and I could type in chat, and then the chat shows up in here eventually after some delay. So there is some semblance of bi-directional communication going on, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if so obviously Restream is able to connect and broadcast the spaces and then also receive chat information.
Yeah, I'm sure they're having to supply a Twitter API key probably to Restream to be able to facilitate that functionality. But
yeah. I mean, I feel like the Twitter API pricing is always a blocker for a lot of these cool ideas. But
this one's probably just part of their broadcasting API. Is probably different than the API you're talking about. That you're talking about get and post hooks. This is probably just for their broadcasting endpoints for being able to use specific things like Restream.
Yeah. Well, I'll just cut to the chase of it because there's a lot of details I'm not exactly sure about. But the idea is, you may be doing like if you using like something like BoostX, so that when people join these live streams on their PC, like instead of just being a chat interface, there's like an interactive interface with like buttons and stuff, so they can like interact with the call. Through, you just like augment the chat and then add like more things like, A, B, X, Y, some buttons, some like tipping buttons, whatever, start, select, whatever makes sense.
Are you talking about like stuff that winds up resulting on like popping up on the stream like they do on Twitch or something? Or are you talking about like?
Well, this is like, for the audience's view. So, the audience can only just chat, right? Mm-hmm. But they can't interact in any other way. I mean, we could always basically like using BoostX, or you could use BoostX to create a content script and like add more buttons to that, and then have those buttons somehow augment the stream experience. Or
totally like you're talking about opening up like maybe like if an artist is doing a stream and then they could have those buttons down there presented for people being able to engage with their collection and stuff.
Exactly. Doing something like that where you're using like an extension to add the buttons, or do it on the other end where users can chat in and they can send like chat keywords, and then you use like someone would create their own like Restream variant that can receive the chat, and then like they trigger keywords for like, similar to how like Twitch does. Like you can when people send things through chat, it can be like a tip or something, like that sort of stuff. But basically, like this whole idea revolves around the idea of like hijacking the streaming experience and like
not hijacking, augmenting.
You know what I mean? Like either intercepting commands or creating an overlay with new commands.
Injecting basically a row of buttons is the way I kind of envision what you're talking about there.
Yeah, I think just like adding, I mean, since you already have an extension, probably just dropping an overlay of some more inner buttons on top is probably easier.
Like on YouTube, whenever you're streaming, you can do super chats, right? Yeah. Whenever you're on Twitch, you can do tips. On X, there's no function like that. So using BoostX, since it's already integrating into X, for that feature, say for while we're streaming on DeOrganized, and then like you can have a super chat, like you pay a couple like $1 or $2 for a tip, and you can ask a question to any founder or something like that.
Or you're paying $1 or $2 for a tip, and you're claiming an NFT for that's relative to that specific show that's about a specific event or whatnot.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's the general idea. You guys get it.
Or you can buy.
You're already reading my mind there, Rosar.
That's featured live, right? During the art on Backspace, and then you commission them for a specific piece of art, and then they build the art live and live stream it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is an idea pitch to me?
What is the added to you as the artist or as the consumer?
Just tip the streamer, and they'll say weird words over and over again. I think that's the killer feature.
You got to ask that to the people that are doing those weird. Have you seen those people that do those weird things?
You mean keep streamers live on X, yeah?
Yes. They do whole streams, and they make money. They make bank to where like they tip you and say a certain word.
Streamers is a cool feature because like it has use case on Twitch. Yeah, you just copy a use case on Twitch and it works well. That's why Twitch exists. So this is very
Yeah, we can do that for sure, and we've have plans to do that, and have had plans to do similar other features as well. But that's most definitely, this is the information we seek from everybody.
Yeah, and if you can get it so that like, so if you're screen sharing any of BoostX, and the BoostX is doing like a little animation of something popping up when people send that transfer or the tip during the stream, then everyone would see it because you're screen sharing out back, broadcasting
you would.
back out to the stream.
That's a great idea. I was actually thinking about that when you were mentioning it kind of the first time, because I hadn't really thought it out that far. But yeah, I think that would require like a plugin or something on the like OBS side.
Restreams.
I mean, if you're just as long as you're on a page where BoostX can like script, you can just drop some. You could just have like an animation, just replay every time someone does like a tip, and it should be fast too, because like you're using like BoostX as your messaging layer instead of Restream. It should happen pretty quickly, and then the only latency will be like the delay back of the broadcast to viewers, which is like I think a few seconds, 10 seconds or something. But
so you're saying inject the confetti effect, so to speak, just natively?
Yeah, just inject them right onto the screen, because similar to how I do like the pop-ups with Signet, like the little modals to like confirm deny things.
Mm-hmm.
You could just like do a little confetti explosion, or different tips could be different shapes. I don't know.
I always thought it'd be cool, depending on the token type
that
you're receiving, you get a confetti of that token. So if you get some SBTC, it's a bunch of little SBTC tokens. You get some STX, some STC or STX tokens. Get some whatever the token is. It's a little.
Or you could have a little shop. You could have a little BoostX shop. People can unlock different or buy different little tip animations.
Now you're talking about kind of what me and GP has been wanting to do for the profile NFT like effects, basically. So we're working on basically some profile avatar augmentations, basically in the form of NFTs, so people will be able to get a little eye candy on their NFT or on their profile picture, basically.
I think GP likes these ideas. He's smiling.
Oh, he is so happy about this.
I am so happy. I've already been like talking to Doc, and I still need to talk to Reese about it. And like, dude, yes, like I want to like have my hands all in this. Like I want to like make the art. I want to like nourish the art. I want to water it and see it grow. I want to see it adopted. Like, yes, dude, I'm excited about this because it speaks to my artist heart.
We're also working on the Cryptonauts too. So basically, yes. I don't know if Rosar knows what that is, but that's the first to transact one of the supported tokens on via BoostX. The fungible tokens. They're gonna basically get themselves on a reserve list for an NFT collection that we're calling the Cryptonauts. So they're basically gonna have a little incentive to maybe be the first to send a specific token. Might want to go out there and send a token that maybe hasn't had any transaction. Maybe somebody needs to get a little bit of love out there and get yourself on the whitelist in the process, or the reserve list rather in the process.
That's one of those things we have to like. So one, get you a BNS name so you can get boosted, and make it your handle so you're in the game. 2, download BoostX, the extension, and then send some of these SIP10s to other people that you like their content. And then 3rd, get on the whitelist for some very, very epic, one-of-a-kind, novel NFTs. Simple, very, very simple task. I don't think it's too hard. Anybody can do it. We're onboarding. This is what we're doing, and we're doing cool stuff. So let's keep doing it.
Can't wait for you guys to see basically tapping into the native X functionality, so you guys can see like how much more it enhances the vibe. It's so
you were speaking on that a little bit earlier, how you haven't even tapped into the native like API of X.
Yeah,
whenever
exactly.
you start to do that and then integrate BoostX like
This-
more deeply into X, I
Well,
would
there's-
imagine.
Yeah, there's two fronts on this. So there's the API the X API that you're talking about integrating with, and that's to help kind of facilitate some of the features on the roadmap, like the airdrops and spaces and chat or group chats, and some of the stuff that kind of will be easier to do with the X API in place. But also, I'm talking about tapping into basically the native X functions that are being clicked in the DOM. So basically that means, when a user clicks like, for example, on a specific tweet, for example, maybe get hit with not just, you obviously see the like go up, right? You see the increase the like count like you would expect because you're clicking the like button, but also maybe get hit with a little prompt, a little Easter egg, as it were. So, that's going to smooth over that user experience on like the normal interactions that they're doing on X. Well, we can kind of gamify those now.
So you could have mini games, like who can?
Well, not just gamify. We can integrate. I'm just using gamify like as a kind of a loose verb there, but you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about like we can hook it into mints, we can hook it into transfers, we can hook it into like swaps, we can hook it into anything, any function on X, like
into a game, a play to earn game.
Yeah, we can do with Zenetrons. We can render clues, on specific pages on likes.
Yeah,
and follows.
yeah. Clues will be a good use case for BoostX, like using it simple. Just open the clues, something like this. Will it?
Yeah, your clues are encrypted NFTs, right? That you mint and then you decrypt them.
Well, for X, no, just the pictures. But for the game, for on-chain game, it's encrypted NFTs. Yeah.
Well, we could hook into that. So if you want, I don't know what depth you want to take it there, but that's variability we could go into on a private DM. But hell yeah, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Gamify it, make it where we can have quests on X. We, do some find to earn that's a little more baked in, and have kind of a way to increase the user's interest at a deeper level, so to speak.
And you're getting real users. Like forget Zealy, forget Galaxy, like BoostX is the app that you're looking for. Oh, yeah, I'm not hating, but like damn, dude.
Yeah, anyways, like fine tune is just the tip of the iceberg. Like the idea, like when the same persons find the coordinates in the same time, there will be another layer, like it will be like battle, PvP.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it will be PvE, like player versus environment, where you can find the boss, so you can kill the boss, and there will be drop rates and NFTs, and drop rates will be like based on a verifiable random function.
What if you did like a round like that led you to Gary Gensler's page, and then it brings you to like a mini boss fight of like a Bitcoin character like beating up on Gary Gensler or something like that? Like something funny,
we can make a lot. Yeah, that's funny. So I did to actually I have a very simple question to all of you. When I build the game for now, like every day I'm just launch ChatGPT, Grok, and Gemini from Google. So I just prove each AI what is better, but I have or LLM leaderboard, so I just try to pick the best creative AI, and I create the new chats because like my chats are full to solve economics, sustainable, etc. But I have very simple question for you. Like, what is the best like name of character? Is it hero or is it hunter?
That's a good question.
I like Hunter. I like Hunter. Hero gives me like superhero vibes. Hunter gives me more of a I'm searching through.
Yeah, like, Hunter. Something on the synonym of Hunter.
Okay, nice. It will be Hunter. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, of course. course. Like, because find to earn, like, you're searching, you're looking. Hunters do the same. They're like kind of scouting trails and picking up clues to figure out where the animal is. So hunter resonates
Yeah,
with
AI agrees with you.
dope. See, we don't need AI for everything. I'm just kidding. Dumb
Yeah,
joke.
just proof of humanity was.
There you go, proof of humanity. Well, it's been awesome. We're rounding around that like 2 hour mark, guys, and I can sit here and shoot the breeze with you guys all day. I love like coming up with new ideas and like showing off your innovations and kind of seeing where they're gonna, where we're gonna take them in the near future. I wanted to go around the room like one last time and any final closing thoughts, any final vibes you want to put out to the ethos. You know, Zenotron, I'll shoot to you first, brother. Like, what's on your mind?
Yeah, thanks everyone. It was amazing space. Thanks for comeback, GPC. We love you. Thanks Roser for creativity. Thanks Crypto Dude for his consistency. It's amazing to be with you. My pleasure. I love you all. We will build the future. Yeah, thank you.
Love you too, brother. Thank you, man.
yeah.
I appreciate you more than you know, and like keep chipping away, bro. We're on to something, and we're gonna get there. One day at a time, one user at a time, if we have to. And we're doing it. We're making big changes and building the change, as Crypto Dude would like to say. Rosar, I'm gonna shoot to you next, man. Any final like vibes, like thoughts, something you want to put out there into the ethos, any alpha.
I don't know. I got some heads down stuff to do, but I will let people know when things are ready for messing around with. Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, thanks, and welcome back from your little escapade as well. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks when I know you're about to get heads down, so I don't know whenever I'll talk to you again. But thanks for coming on and shooting the breeze with me, man. You're always
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, no problem. It was nice to go on vacation once and not have catastrophe follow.
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to laugh so hard at that, but I'm
No,
so
it's
glad
real.
that
I didn't even want to say anything because I was
you did
getting
good.
superstitious.
You did good. Like, I think you approached it the right way. Honestly, I think you did good. So you're right. I too that resonated with me. Um, thank you,
Yeah.
Rose. And Crypto Dude, I'll leave it to you, man. Like, any final words, any final statements, vibes, alpha that you'd like to put out there?
Yeah, I guess you kind of took my build to change out of my arsenal nest, and I can't drop that, so I was gonna have to come up with something else. Yeah, basically everybody needs to just keep hammering. Like everybody has their own mission. There's most definitely ability to collaborate though extensively in the ecosystem right now, and I suggest people get their ideas out there and start looking for parties that have similar objectives and start collaborating. It just takes effort. So I guess with that, shameless. I'll end it with a shameless shill.
Let's
Download Boost. Download. Let's do it. Download Boost X from the Chrome store, and please leave a review. Honest reviews are appreciated. I'm not just asking for I love this. If you think something's wrong with it, you just tell me. Obviously, I'd prefer you tell me in a DM and give me a chance to fix it rather than just blowing up the review first. But we also want reviews on the Chrome store. Helps increase our exposure. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, you guys go download BoostX, leave a review. If you hate something, DM him first. Crypto Dude is very open to honest feedback, and then he will fix it. Like, dude chips. So just give him some time, give him your feedback. Go check out BoostX. Thank you guys. I appreciate you very much, more than you all know, and I hope that you guys have a killer rest of the week. We're gonna get to it, and it's prime time grind time. You guys have a blessed one.
You too. Later, man.
Later, guys. And this has been another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we bring your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars together, have a dope conversation, kick out high frequency vibes, maybe do some live demos, bring you the alpha, fresh and hot off the press. I'm your boy GP with DeOrganized Media. You guys stay blessed. Have a good rest of your evening/day wherever you are. Much peace and love to yous and yours. I'm out. Peace.
Thank you.